Hey there, good morning everyone. Thursday, the 18th of January 2024. This morning's devotional is a reading from Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 29, which reads, "But if from there you seek the Lord your God, you will find him if you look for him with all your heart and with all your soul." We are all looking for something in life. And the problem is, many people don't believe in God or even that God exists because they have not heard from him or even found him. Well, I can tell you with all assurance that you will only find what you're looking for when you look harder and with sincerity. You are not going to hear from God unless you really, really want it. I'm not saying it is an option. I'm not saying that it would be nice. What I am saying is, it is a necessity. God doesn't tell you his dream for your life if you want to debate it. God doesn't tell you his vision for your life if you want to discuss it. And God doesn't tell you what he put you on earth to do just so you can say, well, let me think about it. It has to be a necessity. You have to say, I've got to know why I am here. I've got to know what you want me to do with my life. I've got to hear your voice. And also, more importantly, I've got to have your vision. David, who penned most of the Psalms, writes in Psalm 40 verse 8, "My God, I want to do what you want." And then again in Psalm 119 he writes, "What I want most of all and at all times is to honor your law." David was passionate in his declaration that what he wanted most of all to do was to honor God. Being obedient and following God were not just simply options for him. It was the only thing that David wanted to do. He used words for seeking God like, "I long for it, I crave for it, I hunger for it, and I'm like a deer panting for the water." When you get desperate, you will hear from God. But God is also not in the business of hide and seek. Jeremiah chapter 29 verses 13 and 14a remind us, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord." Notice there's a recurring theme here that we seek God with all our heart. Not half of it, not half-heartedly, but wholeheartedly. A lot of people talk to God, but they never hear from God. For them, prayer is pretty much of a monologue, and you cannot have a relationship with a monologue. What if I married my wife and talk to her, but she never talks to me? Well, sometimes she doesn't talk to me when she's cross with me, but that's beside the point. A relationship is not a monologue, it is a dialogue. And we have to have that conversation. So just as important as talking to God in prayer is also listening to God and letting him talk to you. Now, how does that happen? Firstly, you've got to want it more than anything else. It's scary, I know, because you never know what God's going to tell you to do or say to you. My dear friends, when we come to God in prayer, put away your shopping lists, your demands, and put yourself away and sit at his feet and allow him to talk with you. When God called the young Samuel in 1 Samuel chapter 3, Samuel did not come with demands and requests. He merely said, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." We have been wonderfully created with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Maybe it's time that you start using them in the same proportion. So come before God, trusting that he is not going to do you any harm, trusting him that he will guide you, knowing that he loves you, and ask him to speak to you. May the Lord be with you, may he bless you, may he cause his face to shine upon you, and be with you always. Goodbye.